my God.
Welcome back to my channel. Today is a very requested video. I'm so happy that I get to bring it to you guys. So, huge question that I get all the time is, what eyeshadow colors should I wear for my eye color? So I'm going to talk about that, as well as, if you guys follow me over on Instagram, I told you guys to ask me any burning questions you had about eyeshadows, troubleshooting, just anything. So I'm going to touch on some of those. If you guys do not follow me over on Instagram, you should. That's kind of where I'm at on the daily. I will post it down in the description box below. So without further ado, let's get into this eyeshadow video. Alright, before we get into this, I just want to preface this video with, you can wear any damn eyeshadow color you want, any color that makes you happy, you do you, boo. Lots of the times I'll just wear an eyeshadow color that goes with my outfit, or if I'm wearing something very like dark, I'll wear like a bright eyeshadow color just to make it pop, and it just doesn't matter. The colors that I'm going to talk about are the colors that are going to make your eye color just jump out at people. So for that little demonstration, I have my special guest here with me, my handcrafted color wheel. Yes, applause, applause. Okay, so anything to make a color pop, you want to put it beside its complement. So complement is straight across the board on the color wheel. We're gonna start off with, say you have blue, or you're like me, bluey green eyes. If you wear these apricots, it's gonna make your blues pop out more. And if you wear, say, more reddy tones, pinks and things like that, that's gonna bring out more of the green in your eyes. So if you are a green or a hazel, so here would be, this is hazel here. So hazel, right across the board from hazel are purple. So if you wear more of a red tone, it's gonna pull more greens out of your hazel. And if you wear more purple tones, you'll see more of the yellow come out of your hazel. So I hope this is making sense so far. If it is, give me a like on this video, you guys. Okay, so then let's get into the browns. So if you are brown, you can be anywhere from a golden brown to a chocolate brown. So chocolate browns, if you want to pull out that more chocolate rich red brown, then you would want to wear something more in the green family, and that will make the chocolate brown pop. If you want to make, say, more of the golden flecks in your browns pop, then you would want to wear something in the blue and the blue purple family. So that is it, you guys. Let's see what this looks like though with actual shadows. Here's the color wheel at a glance with some wearable shadow colors and what it looks like. Okay, so for those of you who are like, yeah, clear as mud, just tell me what colors I should be ordering for my eye color and I'll order it. Lime Life actually has buildable palettes, so I will post a couple different combinations for different color eyes down below, what number of shadows for each different color of eyes. You guys can just straight up order them. So Lime Life has a whole bunch of different combinations depending on your needs. So you can just simply order individual shadows, and they come in these pretty little compacts with the watermark. I love their packaging so much. But the most popular way to order is in the 4 and 6 well. They also, for when you're up there in the eyeshadow world, they have an 18 well palette. This is obviously my fave. Love this one because you can put all your eyeshadows in there. Say you're gonna be away and you just want to put all your eyeshadows in here. There's this 18 well palette, super sweet. But for the sake of this video, I will post different combinations of probably the 6 well palette, and then you guys can decide if you want to order it in a 4 or 6. Now we will get into the Q&A portion of this whole video. I'm so excited. I haven't really ever done a Q&A, or I haven't done one in a long time. So I'm really excited to answer some of your guys' questions. I have them all written down from over on Instagram. So the first one is, how do you make it so clean? Whenever I try eyeshadow, it's all over the place. So I'm going to show you guys. It is all in the brushes. So here is my brush collection. It has, you guys remember those things like when we were younger and you'd snap it on your wrist and it would wrap around? So this brush holder listen. It has that little thing in it, so it stays like this. You snap it open and it stays like this. So brilliant. Anyways, so for eyeshadow, I'm going to pop out a couple of brushes. So when you're doing colors that are lighter, so you want to start out with a transition color that is in a lighter shade, and then you want to darken up the crease. So you start off your lighter shade with a very fluffy brush. So something like one of these. So I would start off with my E40, Sigma E40 brush. It's very fluffy. It's very good for blending, starting a base. And then when you want to get down to your darker colors and not so blown up, you want to, or blown out, sorry, you want to keep them kind of more precise but blend into that transition color. Then you would get into something a little bit more like one of these brushes. So you can see, I'll compare these two. You can see that this one is a little bit more fluffy than this one. So that one is going to keep it in a more specific area, whereas this one's gonna blow it out into a more general kind of area. I hope that helps answer your question there. It's all in the brush. If you guys do wanna see a video all on my fave brushes, let me know down in the comments. Next question is tips for hooded eyes. So there are so many different kinds of hooded eyes out there. So there you get sort of hooded eyes as you age and the skin starts to droop, it loses elasticity. So basically a hooded eye, if you don't know, this where it creases right here, that part that blinks, that's your mobile lid. So if you open your eyes and the skin comes over top of your eyelid, like most people's does, then that is a hooded eye. So a tip for brightening and lifting hooded eyes, because sometimes hooded eyes can appear droopy, is when you open your eye, you want to bring the darker eyeshadow up in this area, and dark shadows recess, meaning that pushes back that skin, makes it look more lifted and not like all this skin is weighing down your eye. So it's all in the placement of your eyeshadow. So if you open your eye and put it parallel to the crease of your mobile lid, that will help lift your eye and help you be able to see the eyeshadow colors that you're putting on. Okay, so next question. I'm good at my right eye, but crap at my left. How do I balance my hand better? So I'm assuming that you're right-handed because it is easier for me to do my right eye as well. So I'm not gonna lie, lots of it is gonna be practice. And so one thing that you can do, one little trick is like you can do your one eye, do your other eye, you can take a selfie and you're able to see the balance better in a picture. And then you can go back and if you do need to bring it up, and eventually you'll learn that you always do make your eyeshadow less on this eye. Like usually I don't, I blow it out a little bit more on this eye and I keep it more compact on this eye. So then I just learned that and I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta blow this out a little bit more. So it's just practice, take a selfie, check it out, and then you can fix it there, and that helps figure out how you do things differently on one side from the other. Another one is help for hooded eyes and what color for brown eyes. So we already covered that. The next question is shimmer on shimmer wrong. I don't think anything's wrong. Like if you want to rock it, you just rock it. But for the most part, for a general rule, usually I try to keep shimmers, especially glittery shimmers, on the mobile lid or on this inner portion of my eye, and usually the dark colors or anything that's going to go above your crease, do that a matte color. So that's just a general rule, but girl, if you like glitter all the way up to your eyebrow, I just say do you. Next question is, how do I make it look like I don't have black eyes no matter what eyeshadow I use? So do you know what could be happening? One, you could just be blowing your eyeshadow out a little bit too much, and like I said in the first question, you want to use a lighter shade for when you're doing it up and out really far. You want to use something, oh, here it is. So this one is very neutral, shade 26. So this is usually, unless people have like quite dark skin tone, this is what I'll start as a transition color. So I'll pick my fluffy brush up and put this on and above my crease and just blend it all the way out until it blends into nothing at your eyebrow. And then I'll take, like I say, this smaller brush and I'll go in with a darker color and kind of try and keep the majority of it right in this area. And then you can dip back into that light color and blend the two together. That will help not make it look like it's super black. If you're smoking out the lower lash line, you'll want to use, it's again in the brush. So something like this, rather than big and fluffy, you can see there's a definite difference. I'll set these two down. There's a definite difference in those two brushes. So this is going to smoke it out, but also keep it in and not raccoon your eyes. Also, you might want to try, if everything's looking black, you might be using cool tones where you need to switch and use like warmer tones. So rather than black, you could use like a dark brown, and that might help warm things up a little bit and not look so black. The next question is, how do I keep it from creasing on my lid and under my waterline? Oh, and this is something that happens, especially if you have oily skin. What you can do is go out and get an eyeshadow primer. And so what that'll do is it'll help adhere the eyeshadow to your eye, and it also locks it down so it doesn't move around on your eyes. This also comes from the quality of the eyeshadow you're using. So if you're using poor quality eyeshadow, sometimes cheaper eyeshadow will crease more than a better quality eyeshadow. So eyeshadow primer and quality of the eyeshadow for that creasing issue, and you can put the primer close to your lower lash line too, and that will help. If you wanted to try something before you go out and get an eye primer, what you can do is I prime my whole eye with a concealer, and then I take a translucent setting powder, set everything top and bottom before you go and put on your eyeshadow, and that will just lock that concealer down and keep the oils at bay. But you want to make sure that you don't overdo the powder on the lower lash line, because then you can get some creasing happening there with your concealer. So less is more in this instance, and concealer, a little bit of concealer, powder, lock it down, go in with your eyeshadows. So next question is, how do I use shimmer shadows without making my eyes look more wrinkly? Okay, so if you do have more mature skin on your eyes and you don't want to accentuate texture, i.e. wrinkles, then I would stay away from shimmers actually. That goes with highlights. So highlighter is a shimmery highlight color that you usually wear on the top of your cheekbones. But anyone who's starting to see lines and crow's feet and things like that on the side, I will not apply a whole bunch of highlighter because that's just going to accentuate that. And I'd maybe keep it on the more like robust area of the top of their cheek, because places like that, like fattier places of the skin of your face kind of thing, that'll have less texture, less lines. But if you really love an eyeshadow, a shimmer eyeshadow on your eye, usually a good place to put it would be like sort of right in the inner tear duct. You could do a little pop of shimmer there, but then keep this a light matte shade and a darker matte shade. Keep the whole thing a little bit more matte. You could put a pop of shimmer in the arch of your brow, something like that, because usually that's a little bit more taut there. Yeah, so I hope that helps. Last but not least, I always seem to cover my eyelid with mascara. It makes eyeshadow tricky. Any ideas? I have a huge tip for you. So people who have really curly eyelashes, really long eyelashes, this is usually a problem. And what you can do, I will be right back. Okay, so what you can do is either take a little Post-it, or you can take a piece of toilet paper, a little square of toilet paper, and you can go like this. It looks ridiculous, but it honestly is so good. So take your mascara. So you've put on all your eyeshadows, your everything, you're finishing it off with a coat of mascara, and then just push this down on your makeup, and then you can put on your mascara and it won't wreck your eyeshadow that you've just done. But let's say you accidentally touch, this has happened to me before, like someone opens their eyes when you're doing their makeup and looks up or something like that, and you get a little bit of mascara up on the upper part of your eyelid. Then you can just take a Q-tip. This is only if you're doing this on yourself. If you're doing it on somebody else, use water, but take a Q-tip, twist it in your mouth, and then just put it on the dot of mascara. Don't swipe, just set the Q-tip on where you put the dot, twirl lift. And then it should not even hardly wreck any of your eyeshadow. You can take your fluffy brush and then just buff those colors back together and it'll be gone. So those are my 2 tips for if you happen to get mascara on your upper eye area when you do mascara. So I hope you guys really like that. I love the whole question part of this. That was super fun to answer your guys' questions. Stay tuned for next week's video. If you don't already subscribe to my channel, click down below, click the subscribe button as well as the bell, because then you'll get notified when my next video goes live, which is going to be a hair tutorial on messy curls and a review on this new flat iron I got. And I'm super excited to share it with you guys because I've been looking for an awesome flat iron for so long, and I really love what this flat iron can do. So make sure you guys subscribe so you get notified for that, and I will see you guys next Monday. Bye. Oh my God, just broke my coffee cup.